Stream offline. What? Why is it offline? Okay, should be streaming now. Come on. What? Why is it still offline? I did start my encoder. Hello? Can't seem to hear anything. Hello everybody. I see 2 people watching now. Type a Y in the chat if you can hear me. Hey. Hey, are you there? Fucking goddamn. Sorry, people. I hear 2 people watching. You can hear me, Joseph. Okay, cool. I'm about to get you onto the Skype. Loud hiss. What about Skype? Can I get you on the video call on Skype just to see if we can both get on? Experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties, folks. Please bear with us. Hey, I just tried to Skype call you, but it didn't come through. I wonder... You have to mute it on your end. There, if you mute it on your end, then it's not going to have the feedback loop. So you can hear me now? Can you hear me now on Skype, Joseph? Can you hear me on Skype, Joseph? Are you muted? No. Get out. No. Can you hear me now, Joseph?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I think we've learned this trick in the past. The trick is earbuds, right? For the I think it would help both of us, but especially for the secondary person to the video, you got to do the earbuds.
Yeah, so also I have the earbuds in right now. The other thing is, if you're watching the live stream, there will be a little bit of a delay. So it'll loop back into your audio, so you have to mute the live video that you're watching. Because it takes a couple seconds to upload. So I have the earbuds in right now. The other thing is, if you're watching the live stream, there will be a little bit of a delay. So it'll loop back into your audio, so you have to mute the live video that you're watching.
Yeah,
because it takes a couple seconds to upload. So now the other thing is, if you're watching the live stream, there will be a little. You have to mute the live video because it's gonna loop infinitely.
Yeah,
because it takes a couple seconds to upload. So now the other thing is, if you're watching the live stream, there will be a little. Hey, it's going into the phones. Mute the live video that you're watching so that because it's gonna keep feedback looping into itself. Yeah, that's funny. It's funny that it does that. Yeah. Okay. So I see you, and I see you.
Put your phone down, and oh no, you need to hear me.
Well, but I can hear you talking in the like I can hear you talking in my earbuds. Can you? Do you not hear me in the video?
I have to mute, so I can't hear anything.
Oh wait, you don't hear anything on Skype though?
I can't. Oh wait, maybe I can mute this.
You can mute the video and be on Skype.
I'll mute. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Okay, let me try that.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
And
we're not getting an echo, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes, we're good, and Chris is on. Hey, Chris. Thanks for sticking through our technical difficulties.
Thanks for the light. Let y'all watch the sun go down behind you there.
So, it is live streaming, though. It's, like, weird.
Oh, 8:05. We did all that 6 in 5 minutes. Alright, cool.
Yeah.
We're ready to go, right?
pretty sure that it is.
I don't think. Can they hear me?
I don't know.
Tell us if you can hear us, guys. We're like 15 seconds ahead of you, but tell us when you do hear this whether you can hear me specifically, because
yeah. So I'm trying to chat and I can't.
Oh, he said we can't. He can't hear us. Okay.
You can hear. You can hear both of us.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's weird. I'm trying to chat, but my chat is not going through. Hear you both. Cool. Yay. For some reason, I cannot chat in my dashboard. I'm new to the YouTube Live.
I'll follow the chat. If you have any questions, I can see it, you guys.
Yeah, I can read it. I just can't type in it for some reason.
Chris, when you say feedback, do you mean that buzz? Because that's from his computer or something. It's like a zzz. That's just going to be there, I think. If you're hearing any vocal feedback, like audio, let us know, because we need to mute something else. And we did do a test, you guys. We apologize, because the test went fine, and then we reconvened, and it was all messy.
Yeah, it was weird.
Live, it's a little different.
I think I'm starting to get the hang of this this medium though, because I can do cool stuff like I can switch to Joe, where y'all can see Joe on the chat now. I think I might hear what you're talking about. It sounds almost like the internet sound.
Sounds like a computer from the 80s is on in the room.
Yeah, I am not sure why that is. Trying to... Yeah, I'm not sure why. It's weird. I have in earbuds, but it's, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like the fan on my computer? I don't know. It's weird. But now it's, you in the video, and then, back to me. I wonder... I don't know, alright. So, okay, cool. Well, thank you all for being here on our first duo webinar, because we're going to do a lot more interviews with other people, and Joe and I will trade off, and we'll make content like this, and we'll get better at it, more efficient at having it all work, and then they'll turn into YouTube videos at the end. So if you ever miss anything or need to get any questions answered, we can, communicate with you in the chat, and I can also even make like administrators and moderators and all kinds of stuff with the chat. But this is the first time I've ever done a YouTube live. Yeah, but so the reason I wanted to do this is because we're starting to have a global team that is all over the world, and the goal with this is to have a place where we can all meet up. We can refer people here instead of home meetings. Just let people know about the webinar wherever we are, and then if we miss it, it just becomes a YouTube video, and you can send the link to anyone. So yeah, we also we want to get into what you guys would like to see, and gals, if there's any gals on this channel right now, what you'd like to see as far as like essential oil product creation or detoxification. We had a poll in the group as well of like different kinds of content that you want to see and that kind of thing. And for this meeting, I just kind of wanted to tell a little bit about my story, just because some of you don't know it. I mean, I know Adam knows me. I've known Adam for a long time, but Chris, I don't know you too well. So a little bit about my story and why I believe so much in Zija, and then I'll go over to Joe, a little bit about his story. about 12 years ago, I used to be 100 pounds heavier. And so since that time, I decided to start getting healthy, start doing cleansing and detoxification, balanced organic nutrition. I've just been obsessed with health and wellness as well as detoxification. And, lost over 100 pounds over several years. And was just a total nerd about superfoods, and especially Moringa, because it's the most nutrient-dense superfood ever discovered. And it's usually just the most nutrient-dense plant ever discovered. And so I'd been taking it for years, just the leaf powder, and like it was good, it was nice. And what struck me when my friend asked me if I'd ever heard of Zija or Moringa, and I was like, yeah, I've heard of Moringa, and he was expecting me to say no and explain what it is, and I knew more about Moringa than he did. And so I've been taking this stuff for years, and I got into this company just for the Moringa. Now they have all this other great stuff. But it was totally different than any other Moringa that I'd ever tried before, because it had the leaves and the seed cake, which cleanses, bad bacteria and fungi. It's anti-candida. And it also had the pods. The pods have a lot more vitamin C, and they have a lot more anti-inflammatories like the quercetin and camphorol and all this good stuff. So within 15 minutes of drinking this super mix, the tendinitis in both my knees disappeared. And I was like, whoa, this is totally different than any Moringa I've ever had before. And I, thought maybe I'm just sensitive to this, and gave some to my dad, who has 2 slit discs in his back, and he was surprised when his back didn't hurt when he was walking up the stairs. And I was like, my dad does not eat healthy. He is not super sensitive to this stuff like I am. And it just, from there, I started meeting all these people. A friend of mine, Larry Foster, got off of 11 different medications thanks to Moringa. Yes, is that face from the buzzing, Chris? There is that, I don't know. It's an interesting emoji. I've never seen it before. I like this chat thing. It's so much more personal than like a conference call where you're just like listening. But so this is cool. But my friend Larry got off of that's his normal face. My friend Larry got off of 11 different medications for asthma, for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, pain medications, all this stuff. I saw people get their thyroid in balance and lose all this weight. I saw people get rid of their carpal tunnel. I saw people get rid of their Parkinson's and all this stuff that I'm not allowed to say, because I'm not allowed to say that Zija can treat, cure, prevent any illness. But look it up online. The National Institutes of Health. They say it mitigates over 300 diseases, and I've seen it personally. And I've also seen the total BS that is the narrative of calories in, calories out. A calorie is not equal to a calorie. A calorie of Moringa is totally different than a calorie of high fructose corn syrup. And what we require is to detox the fat out of our body and to get rid of our cravings, to get rid of these microbes and fungi that are hijacking our system, and really get into balance. And we're going to talk a little bit about how Moringa can do that. We're going to keep it as quick as possible, and to kind of poll the audience to see where to go next with these things. Some of my ideas is get some multimillionaires in this company and other companies to come in for training and talks, and to just give y'all as a team the training that you need and the support, as well as a place to send people. Instead of somebody's meeting at a house, we can just get people in this kind of chat room, get their questions answered, and we'll get better as we go along. And so for now, I'm going to turn it over to Joe, let him tell a little bit about his story and how he got with Moringa and Zija. So you're on now, Joe.
Word, thanks. Yeah, I was similar to Zach. I was one of the people who heard of it. I don't know if you and I, Zach, had told each other about it. I don't think I heard about it from you, but I may have. We may have discussed it way back when. But yeah, I've been growing Moringa for about 7 years. So I found it in around 2010, around when I gave up engineering, actually. And they say, would you do this, you know, would you do what you're doing for free? Like, I was sharing that Discovery Channel Moringa documentary with anybody that would pay attention to me. I was trying to get everyone to watch it. I don't know why. I just got obsessed with this plant, like really deeply obsessed, in a good way. But I never really tried it. I mean, I was just growing it and throwing it, taking some in the backyard and throwing it in my salad sometimes. Never felt anything from it. Hey, Peaches. Good to have you lurking. And when I finally started taking Zija's Moringa, that's when I started taking Moringa every day. So unfortunately, I can't compare any other Moringa to Zija, because like the only Moringa I ate before that was just like off the tree, and I don't think I ate enough to ever affect me. I was always trying to get my tree to grow faster, and I didn't want to like rob it much, so I would take little bitty pieces off.
Well, when you take the too much of the leaf, it basically makes you go number 2 a lot more than usual.
Yeah, so most swag Moringa, by the way, what you get out there at like Whole Foods and such, is just leaf powder. Almost everything I've ever seen out there, I think there was one exception to that rule other than us, was just leaf powder. And that's like really good for increase in energy and to make you go poop. But if you want like the real magic, which is the pain relief, the brain happy, you know, from the omegas and such, you really need the seed cake and the fruit, as we call it, which I learned from Zach is the pods, like the outside of the seeds come in the pod. So those parts are really important for getting the full spectrum. I mean, if you're going to take a plant that's known as the miracle plant, that's known to replace vitamins, minerals, and you know, nutrients and supplements, and it's the go-to store, right? So why would you just take one part of that plant when, you know, there's available out there 3 parts of the plant, which just give a more spectrum of all the aminos and more omegas, the good stuff, right? Why smoke swag when you could smoke the good stuff? Wait, are we talking about smoking?
Why smoke Moringa?
But it's a good analogy. Like, you can get, like, if you're, you know, really wanting to cut a dime, go get you a bag of that cheap stuff and see what it does to you. It's not that it's a bad product. It's a good thing. It's just missing something. You know what I mean? Like, it's a part of a good thing. But getting back to my story, so when I started taking Moringa daily, I mean, I just started feeling better immediately. Really within like 3 or 4 weeks, people started telling me I looked younger, which I've been getting nonstop for 2 years now. I lost about 8 pounds in the first 2 weeks. And that was 2 years ago. I mean, I didn't really have that much weight more to lose, but I just took off another 12 pounds just because in the last month. So it's really easy. Just like when you feel like at the beginning of, you know, summertime, it's like, let me just go on a little cleanse, rock out 12 pounds in a month. And it was easy. I mean, I didn't, you know, nothing special. The whole point of this stuff is it's not hard to do it. Didn't have to change my eating habits that much. So in the way that it's impacted me, mostly focus, energy. I really like the fact that I poo more and less often. Is that weird? So I used to poo like 3 or 4 times a day, and now I poo twice, but like a lot more volume. So there you go. Now I feel like whoever's watching this and me, like, we know each other better now. Give me a private message about your album.
Oh, man.
Lord knows I've heard a few. You know, when you start health coaching and such, you see what a lot of people's issues are, and there's more skin issues than I thought. Are like, because like I've never had a problem pooping. I've been lucky in that area. I've had other areas, but that area I've been good. But a lot of people either have trouble going or going, you know, either not going or going too much. So it's a good thing that this can kind of get control of the colon and just keep it on a regular throttle. You know, like, you want to get your colon straight, get it regular, and it'll figure itself out. If you get rid of the compaction and just eat the right thing to get you pooping regular, it'll work itself out, right? So I think that, yeah, that's the summary of my my story with Zija. I like the poops.
you just keep bringing up the poops over and over again. It's hilarious. It actually does really help with ulcerative colitis and Crohn's. And again, I'm not saying that Zija will do that, but look up Moringa oleifera Crohn's. Look up Moringa oleifera cancer, and Moringa oleifera diabetes, and Moringa oleifera heart disease. You'll see all of these studies pop up, and it's not me. This is National Institutes of Health and other organizations. So I'll turn it back over to Joe now. Did you have something else you wanted to add there?
Yeah, I mean, I invented the internet, so those articles are all attributed to me.
I love you, Joe.
No, I mean, what I one of the focuses I wanted to have for this class was specifically to help people understand why the seed cake is important, why the pot is important. So on that topic, we talked a little bit about seed cake. I want to talk about water filtration, though. In these third world countries, they're using the seed cake, which when I say seed cake, it's the seed minus the oil from the seed, right? At least that's the way Zija uses this term. But this seed cake, I think with the oil will float to the top anyway, but they're using it to filter water in third world countries. And of course, the first question I had was, does it remove fluoride? And the answer is yes. Well, a lot of us are wanting to defluoride our body because, they're putting fluoride in our water. So even if you drink filtered water like I do, I don't have a system yet on my shower. So I take in 6 cups, 3 times a week. That's how often I bathe. I'm giving that up. I'm a true gypsy. Unless I sweat or I'm date with a girl 3 times a week. That's true gypsy style, saving water. But my point, and fluoride in the body. But so when you take the seed cake in, we are water beings, so it's going to filter us. It's going to help decalcify the pineal gland. A lot of people think that interesting how fluoride would calcify something instead of calcium, but that's what they call it. They say it calcifies the pineal gland. I've never confirmed that, Zachary. Have you? I don't. That's one of those things that they say. I don't. Chris, Adam, can y'all confirm this? Jamie?
So what I've discovered on that front is that the way the calcifications form, whether it's in your joints or in your brain or different parts of your body, in different tissues, it kind of attracts and grabs certain toxins like mercury, fluoride, junk that we find in refined flour and refined sugars, xenoestrogens, furans, all kinds of things. It's all these kinds of toxins kind of get bundled up together in the calcifications. And so it can, a lot of different toxins can contribute to calcification in your joints and in your pineal gland and that kind of thing. What they've seen with the seeds is that there's a compound in it called pterygospermin that collapses the cell membranes of fungi and bacteria, particularly candida, which is yeast infections. So it's very good for kind of collapsing those biofilms of yeast and other microbes.
Yeah, I think, there's still so many people out there that haven't heard of candida. You want to give us your 60 seconds on candida? I mean, I think it's something that we may, like Ryan Peake predicted, in 3 to 5 years, we're going to look back and say 90% of our issues were candida, and we didn't know it. Some people knew it, but...
Yeah, some of us knew it. The most interesting thing they found about candida, so candida loves sugar. It eats the heck out of sugar, and the acidophilus and candida hate each other because they compete with each other for sugar. So it is a fungus that grows in the body. Most people have heard of yeast infections or thrush or esophagitis or things like that. But the most insidious thing about candida is that it blocks the vitamin D receptor in your cells. So black mold does this, HIV does this, and a few other viruses like Epstein-Barr. It blocks the vitamin D receptor in your cells, and so it turns off your immune system in certain areas. And so what we're realizing now is that a lot of these autoimmune conditions are actually either fungal, viral, or microbial infections where your immune system is turned off, and then it's just open season for these things to run wild. So, I mean, particularly with the Moringa, the Smart Mix, I mean, not only has it cleared out a lot of those toxic fungi and microbes, but the leaves are anti-parasitic. They call it anti-helminthic. It gets rid of parasitic worms. And Then with the Smart Mix, they put chicory in there, so it has a prebiotic that helps refeed your good flora. That's one of my favorite ones for digestion and that kind of thing. That's the one I do all the time because it's really low carb. Yeah, I do also have some slides, and we can both kind of talk about the basics. So not too many slides. Are you seeing this, Joe?
I'm on a lag, so I'll tell you in 15 seconds or whatever it is.
Okay, so this is one reason why I'm so passionate about this. I lost a lot of weight, over 100 pounds. Joseph, when he first got into cleansing, I think he told me it was like 40 pounds or something. Like a lot of weight dropped when you got into toxic cleansing. So this is an old statistic. 64% of Americans are overweight if they're over the age of 20. And then it's 60% in Mexico, 60% of all adult Canadians. So I just recently watched a documentary, Fed Up, and they were saying in the next 30 years, the next 20 years, we're expecting, if we keep going on the rate we're going, that 90% of Americans will be obese, and that 1 in 3 people will have diabetes. So I see all of these kids and adults, who struggle with their weight, and they think, I just got to work out more and cut my calories. And I'm like, if cutting calories is eating less soda and McDonald's, then like if those are the calories you're eating, it's not the same as a calorie in and a calorie out. And so what I love about Moringa is that it helps get rid of those cravings. It helps satiate your appetite. It even helps with neurotransmitter balance and hormone balance. And there's a bunch of studies about this. So we'll go to the next slide unless you want to chime anything in there, Joseph, about this slide.
No.
No?
I lost 40 pounds in 6 weeks cleansing, and that's what had me quit engineering, essentially. But that's all I got for
nice.
So toxic cleansing is addictive and amazing once you get into it, and it's all about the easy button. We found the easiest way to toxic cleanse. I've never seen an easier way to toxic cleanse in this plant.
I agree. And there's people I've seen, friends of mine, Ozzy Salinas, lost over 100 pounds doing the cleanse, doing the deal, and so that was then. We used to have Whole Foods, guys. Remember when Whole Foods was actually just foods that were unprocessed instead of a store that sells processed foods? I remember. So now what we have looks like this.
Oh, you've been watching South Park.
Yeah, I remember. Whole Foods used to actually mean Whole Foods, not a store that sells processed foods. So now we have all this junk.
Food was good. You didn't have to call it organic.
Yeah. So now we have all this junk, and it just keeps getting worse. And what we have is the solution, and maybe it's not right for everybody, but there's a ton of people who are overweight, who have cardiovascular issues, who have immune system issues, hormone issues, and diabetes issues. And if you look at the studies, if you look at the research with this plant, you see that it mitigates 400 different diseases, or 300 different diseases, according to the National Institutes of Health.
Can you name them?
What? Name them? Yeah, I know, right? Well, I won't say that Zijo will treat, cure, prevent any illness, but I will say Google Moringa diabetes, Moringa cancer, Moringa Alzheimer's, Moringa Parkinson's. You can look up Moringa and pain and any disease that ends in itis, like ulcerative colitis and arthritis and all of these things. And don't let me tell you that Moringa will treat, cure, prevent any illness. Just check out researchmoringa.com, the National Institutes of Health. It's just chock full of evidence. And for me, seeing people who have, gotten off of their meds or, stopped shaking from Parkinson's, that for me is enough, to warrant, taking this to the streets, screaming it from the rooftops. Yeah, so I mean, the other thing is most of our food has kind of lost its nutrition. This is a small list, of like beef has more omega-6s, omega-3s, has a fourth of the the carrots have a fourth of the zinc that they used to have back in the day. These are some statistics that aren't on the slide. And so the need for nutritional supplements that are food-based, plant-based, is becoming more and more apparent the more we over-farm and deplete the soils in our country. And we're gonna keep this super short on this end, and then maybe wrap up with like a group huddle kind of thing. So yeah, so I mean, gram for gram, moringa leaves have, this is fresh leaf. So when you dry the leaves, you actually get more of these nutrients. 4 times the calcium of milk, 4 times the vitamin A of carrots, 2 times the protein of yogurt, 3 times the potassium of bananas, and 7 times the vitamin C of oranges. So you also get like a ton of vitamin E and iron and all of these things in really big quantities, and they're essential nutrients that are missing from the standard American diet. So we've been depleting our soils, and Moringa is the answer. Moringa is the way that we can get these nutrients lost back into our system and, trigger some healing responses. Because when you give your body the tools it needs, it takes care of the rest for you. Do you have anything else on these slides that you want to mention, Joe?
No, I'd never seen that one on what the things have lost. That was a cool slide. I was trying to copy all the different parts that are in Moringa, like the amino acid, but it won't copy more than 200 words. My thing is more than 200 words. But
here's this one. Is that the slide you were looking for?
There's something we've been talking about making a video about this, and there's some video that's to be made, and I have had a few ideas, but I haven't nailed the right one. When you get the right idea, you know it. And it's like a lot of these things, if you read them, they sound like scary chemicals.
Oh yeah, like isothiocyanates.
Camphorol, yeah, exactly.
Camphorol.
Dismutase, gamma tocopherol, so there's some commercial that we're kind of warning people about this, but then you realize that, and halfway through the commercial, it's not a warning, and all this is stuff you actually want in your body.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten there yet with it.
Yeah, the isothiocyanates is a good one, because that's the specific compound that they've been testing, and it has eradicated like 98% of lung cancer cells, 97% of pancreatic cancer cells, according to National Institutes of Health studies. That's the data that they've been saying, and they believe it's these antioxidants, the isothiocyanates. So it could be like Moringa. If you've been exposed to Moringa, you may have also been exposed to isothiocyanates. Isothiocyanates can cause apoptosis in cancer cells.
No, we could do it like a personal injury lawyer ad.
Yeah,
you exposed to Moringa?
Yeah.
Moringa known to give people isothiocyanates.
That's hilarious.
Wait, what is this one called? Indylee acetonitrile.
There's crazy ones, man, that I haven't even looked at.
So let's wrap it up soon, Zach. But one of my favorite things to get you to talk about is the zeatin, the plant hormone. Just fill us in on that one. I don't know if this crowd has heard that or not.
Yeah, I'll cover a little bit of just what's on this slide, and then the zeatin. Zeatin is why Zija is named Zija. So Moringa has more different kinds of antioxidants and anti-inflammatories than any other plant. Like acai has I think 23, whereas Moringa has 46 different antioxidants. But then the ORAC value, the quantity of antioxidants, the total amount, acai wild from the jungle is between 2,000 to 6,000 ORAC value, which is just how many total antioxidants it has. Moringa, for the same amount, 100 grams, has over 156,000, which is insane. Dark chocolate, which is a superfood, 20,000. Moringa, 156,000. So then you get your omega-3, 6, and 9, which help build your brain and nervous system. This could be part of the reason why it helps with Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, according to the National Institutes of Health. It's got all the essential amino acids that you need, that your body doesn't make, and even the ones that it doesn't. People think amino acids and protein, but like, it has tyrosine in it, which is the precursor to dopamine. It has tryptophan in it, which is the precursor to serotonin. You know, it has methionine and cysteine that help regulate your sleep cycles and inflammation. So these amino acids do a lot more than just build muscle. They have all kinds of effects on our mood and all this kind of stuff. Over 90 different verifiable nutrients. One of them is zeatin. So zeatin is crazy because they thought the #1 food containing zeatin was coconut oil. That's why coconut oil is so great for your skin. It helps your skin cells regenerate without shortening the telomeres, which means it doesn't age your cells at a cellular level. Normally, when your cells replicate faster, they also age faster. So what zeatin does is make your cells replicate faster, and you get this kind of youthful glow in your skin, but it doesn't age your skin at an oxidative level or on a DNA level. So Moringa has 6,000 times the amount of zeatin as coconut oil. So it's 6,000 times the other thing that we thought had more than any other plant. So it's amazing for the skin. I love the body oil and the face oil on my skin. That stuff is just the bee's knees. It's my absolute favorite. So we're gonna wrap it up unless you have something to say, Joe.
Well, so real quick, if you want to get the purest form of moringa oil is the Zija oil. There's just a couple other things in there. It's mostly moringa oil. And then there's one that's already diluted for you called body oil. That's like, I don't know, 10 times bigger volume. And they've already got your, you know, jojoba oil, coconut oil to dilute it out a little bit. And there was one other thing I wanted to ask you. Oh, I'm pretty sure the reason, okay, so like when people lose weight with Zija, they don't have that flap left over, right? Like they're real tight, and you could even get your six-pack back. Like there's no, I'm not going to say there's no stretch marks, because I haven't seen them, but I don't know if it's that good. But I know that there's no flabbiness left over. You know, like it tightens your skin, and that's the zeatin, correct?
Yeah, that is a big part of that. The other thing too is that a lot of people, when they're left over with flabby skin, because I had this issue, is that there's actually just a little bit more toxins in there because their skin is actually really thin. You know, it's only like 3 cell layers thick, the endothelium, mesothelium, and epithelium. Or epidermis, sorry, mesodermis, endodermis, and ectodermis. Yeah, thelium is the other one, the blood vessels. But so your skin's really thin, yeah, and so zeatin helps to like repair it. What I've noticed is with the oil really helps with stretch marks and scars. Even the body oil, because besides the like jojoba and coconut, it has like almond oil and avocado oil, sunflower seed oil, macadamia nut oil, and all of this amazing stuff, and it definitely helps get rid of stretch marks. I've actually seen people use the Zija oil and even frankincense oil on old scars from surgery, and like within a week you start to see improvement. Like it's amazing stuff. Like I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen the pictures.
Helichrysum, yeah, I would put in that blend. Helichrysum is pretty badass at healing wounds fast and taking scars away.
Yeah, totally agree. But yeah, we can. What we were planning on doing is wrapping this up and then jumping on a Facebook Live, because we can add all of you and see your faces and that kind of thing. And the goal with this is, you know, to see more of what y'all want, what training you need, what kind of info you need. Like I choose to get some of those people I talked about on here with the amazing testimonials. Also some people who are, you know, multi-millionaires or at least 6-figure earners on here to give you their tips for building a business, and just make this not just, you know, fun content and new, you know, updates and that kind of thing, but also a place where you can get your questions answered and where you are a part of this process and where we get to talk to you and see you. You get your questions answered. You say, hey, I want to hear Dr. Josh Plant answer this question, or so-and-so answer this, and to really be a part of this interactive thing to get people involved with the Moringa movement in whatever way is best for them. But it's a place for our team to meet up because we'll live in different places. So that's what the Facebook Live is going to be. Talking face to face.
This is the first one, so obviously we had some hiccups and whatnot. Zach, if you can just edit that first 5 minutes out, it would be great. It'll look like we were gravy. But yeah, I mean, if you could just block your Thursday nights, see, if there's people you've got interested in joining this movement, have them join us. This is still small enough where we can get everyone's questions answered. We'll probably make sure we can always do that. But at this point, it's really easy to, welcome them on board the call and make sure that if they want to hear about, what this can do for weight loss or energy or diabetes or whatever, we can cover a little bit of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And we can make this a tool.
Indeed. We do class, like an introduction class first, and then we're going to do more like a team call. Sometimes for the team call one, it'll be more instructional, like we may watch a video together, like some personal growth type stuff, and then we'll convene afterwards. And sometimes it'll just be a mastermind chat, you know what I mean?
Nice. I dig it. Yeah, being a tool as well is, the reason we're doing YouTube Lives is because it becomes a YouTube video after the fact. So even you coming back here every week, we choose to deliver that value to you, and you can see like, oh, last week there was someone who had type 2 diabetes that went away, or they had a testimonial about Parkinson's, and my friend has that issue, and you can, instead of inviting them to the next week one, you can send them the replay of the one with the person with the amazing testimonial, and so it's a training resource as much as it is like a marketing resource and just a place to meet up together. So thank you all for being here, and we're gonna hop off. Anything you got with Joe?
No, we'll put some links down below if you want to, find some intros to Moringa and such like that. Well, this is Zach's YouTube channel, so you can decide what to put below, Zach. I'm thinking it's mine, but yeah, just keep joining us on Thursday night. Keep inviting your friends. I know Chris and Jamie did that, and they both had people click with interest, so that's cool. We got more people, telling us they want information. Remember, that's the point of the invite, is just to see who, we got a gravy cooking, and it's like, who thinks it smells good, and then if it smells good, they may want to know what's in it, and that's when we introduce them to this plant. So it's easy if you let it be easy.
Indeed. Alrighty. Well, signing off until next Thursday.
Yeah, sign off. Let's do 9 o'clock in the Seams group. For anybody who wants to jump on a Facebook Live, even if you don't want to bring your video on, you can still jump on. And maybe we can each reach out to 2 or 3 people, see if we can get a few people from the team on,
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Joe. See you at 9.